Hey, what's up guys and gals? It's time for Rautas to do a little bit of a compilation review. Back in the days, maybe some of you older ones actually remember when all kind of compilation tapes, CDs and other various physical formats included kind of a sampler type of compilations, usually for sale for a rather decent price. Now, I'm not talking about these kind of samples which are usually giveaway by any given labels. For example, this is one of those samples which just arrived with some of the review CDs featuring various bands by a certain label. Or these kind of labels which do exactly the same by one given label. I'm actually talking about the labels release such as this. This is Sounds of Hell series volume 1 by Hell Awaits. And what is Hell Awaits? Well, technically this points to a cafe or bar, like it says here, black metal, new wave, rock metal, new wave, cafe d'est here. And there is this female and male imp characters or sort of devils flirting with each other and giving you the impression, yeah, we're talking about some dark music maybe. And this is released by the bar or cafe or whatever it's officially called, doing also sort of a label work with the with this bar of beverages and other services, I guess. Never been there, but this resides in Belgium and in a place called d'est. And there's information about this CD, how you can contribute it, take part of it and all that stuff. And inside we'll find the track list with bands mentioned. As you can see, 18 bands, 18 tracks of various styles of metal. This one came with a nice booklet. I don't know if this is coming with all the releases, but came to me as anyway for review, and this features a little bit of information about each and every band. So you can see lineup, some basic information, see the logo, band photos and all that stuff. I think these kind of booklets actually complement the release in such a nice way. Gives you a little bit of the 1990s feeling that when you went for some compilation. I remember one such consisting of 3 CDs, like Death is Just Beginning, volume something. And that was pretty much the same idea. Had this thick box with 3 CDs and a booklet such as this, but small size. And you had a little bit of information of every band, you know, logo, some basic information, maybe something about style, country of origin and all that stuff. And these kind of stuff, in my opinion, brings something of an extra value for physical product versus that things are just online there. Now, obviously, you can just read and browse pictures online, but so often, especially with streaming services, you are bound to have nothing more but sort of a crappy image and that's it. And then obviously the music. Now, music matters more than anything. It's the real deal. It's the beef and potatoes here. But sometimes you want to go deeper, such as read the lyrics and all that stuff. That's why you buy physical products in the first place. Especially with beauties such as this. You get the vinyl, you get the booklets, you get the images and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to these kind of compilations, these are rather kind of rarities, I guess. And so often it's more like a sampler to give you an indication of what's going on with certain label. And it's a good way to listen to multiple bands by the same label at once. To give you a kind of an idea of what's going on, what releases you have missed. And in general, give you a little bit of idea to which direction this particular label is going or where it's coming from. And as such, it's a good way to check out bands, but only if the price tag is right. That is, comes free with your pre-placed order, or that is already available in a quick way to listen to it, maybe stream or otherwise. Now, usually I don't get these kind of compilations for review, and there's a reason, because most of them are not for sale. They're just to do the sampling work. you know, promote the bands and releases. But this one is actually something that is for purchase here on the helldeist.com, which is the website for this cafe. And there's plenty of other stuff, but I'm just showing you the page for this particular release. Now, 76 minutes of music should be a real deal for bargain. I mean, after all, it has these 19 tracks, and you could hear plenty of music with, you know, relatively cheap price, 7.5 euros. Now, if it only was good, I would say buy it right away. I mean, it looks nice. It's a real digipack with some pages and booklet and all that stuff. But to be honest, all these bands are a bunch of nobodies. Probably most of these bands, or all of the bands, are something that you have never ever heard before. At least was for me. And I go like hundreds of different bands through every year. And yet I know none of these. And when I was listening to this compilation, it became clear to me why. Because they're all crap. Okay, that's a little bit too brutal thing to say. Let's not call them crap, but it's more like a compilation of demo level bands. Bands that don't have existing record deal maybe. Bands that don't have an album out. No, I didn't go browsing metal archives for each and every one of these bands. Because to be honest, I'm not that interested. First of all, it doesn't serve the purpose for this compilation review, and secondly, everybody else can just do it on their own if you have that interest in the first place. But let's be honest about it. This list of bands, these are literally nobodies. These are the type of bands that are hoping to become something at some point. Maybe via these kind of compilation, maybe through various gigs which take place at Café Diest and all that stuff. But I don't know. The thing is, none of these styles on this album represent anything of good quality. You have some kind of a death metal flirt here. You have heavy metal. You have kind of a sludge and doom and, well, stuff like that. You have kind of a more rock and rollish approach. But none of these bands are something that, hey, I want to go back to that. Not a single track really blew my mind. I was more like boring, mediocre, boring, quite okay, but not yet close to being a decent one. So all of these tracks seem to me like they are some demo tracks from bands that haven't yet achieved anything. Now, obviously, for people who are open-minded and ready to check out new bands with high interest, this is a cool way to get it. I mean, first of all, the price tag is very, very decent, and you get 18 tracks, and you will hear lots of bands you haven't heard before. But to go blindly buy a compilation as this, in a world where these samplers are mostly free and listening to new bands is, I mean, it has never been easier. Whether you're gonna do it on Spotify, YouTube, or other streaming services. So I kind of have a hard time giving you a reason why you would spend any money on these. Now, like I said, none of these bands are absolute crap, but they are just mediocre overall. Maybe there is some song which is a little bit better, but really didn't get me that feeling. Like I felt like I spent some roughly 4 hours with this compilation trying to figure out why the hell I am actually listening to this one. So it's much like a demo track compilation rather than anything else. So in case you're going for compilations that actually give you a real deal with good bands. I mean, I'm talking about earache compilations back in the 90s when you had compilation by Earache Records. You find Morbid Angel, Entombed, Carcass, I'm not sure if it was Gorefest, but you had plenty of good bands on a single compilation, and for a price of similar to this one. Maybe it was less actually, but anyway, something like 10 years and you get like, wow man, some good tracks, Bolt Thrower, and that kind of deal would be great. But obviously none of the bands with any kind of names would participate on this kind of compilation, so it's kind of like a paradox to even have that kind of thing nowadays. Back in the early 90s it was very, very different. But you don't get to see that anymore. Not with the world of internet, not with the world of streaming services and YouTube videos and all that stuff. So whether I can actually recommend Sounds of Hell series volume 1 to anybody, well, the answer to this question would be no. I really can't. If you can get this for free, yeah, then it's a nice deal. Considering you get this 12-page A5 size booklet. But if you have to actually buy that, well, I'd rather say spend your money on beer. You would do yourself a bigger service. Now this bar actually looks nice then again. Something that I would like to visit one day. That is, if I'm going to Belgium for some reason, if there is life beyond post-corona and all that stuff. Definitely looks like a nice cafe, bar, whatever place you want to call it. That looks like worth visiting, maybe worth some kicks and all that stuff. And maybe participating in this kind of compilation makes sense if you are still operating on the demo level. But beyond that, not really. So save your money, go to check out this band somewhere else. Sorry, but I have to be brutally honest about it. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye.